Alright! Hello everybody! Welcome back to Limbus Company! Alright, last time we finished I didn't actually finish it on stream, but I finished it eventually. Refraction Railway 2 with a respectable 167, I think. I don't know if I'm gonna get it under 150, but I think I'm gonna leave it that way. I love the music on that, and the final boss was pretty tricky, but I'd say it's better than My Form Empties for sure in terms of like time. It's like one where you either get it or you don't. Like you either survive like the brutal first few rounds or it just completely annihilates you. But what we are here today for, and I should have done this earlier but I didn't realize, is there have been some new mini episodes in the past couple of updates about the Walpurgis mini event called Rooms Past the Back Door right here. And I thought there were going to be 3, just like there were 3 for the Dante's notes. But there were actually 2. So I was like waiting, surely this week the next update is gonna have a 3rd episode. I guess not. But let's get it started. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. Whether riding the bus through a forest or navigating the bus boat over a vast lake, our daily routine changes very little. Hello Mirage, welcome to the stream. Thank you kindly. Starting now, you will all be given a maximum of 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration is subject to change. Have a good night. I gotta say, that's pretty generous, and given the corporate dystopia of the city, I thought that 12 hours is really, really good. The usual hubbub followed by the usual leisurely idleness. I guess I'm not the only one starting to enjoy these normal routine days. It wasn't by our choice, though. By now, I thought we'd be sailing vigorously across the waters toward Lobotomy Corp branch, located somewhere within U Corp. But here we are, unable to leave the coastal side of the Great Lake, dawdling and twiddling our thumbs. Well, it's not like there's been an accident. While Faust didn't elaborate, she explained that we had to wait for now. If I were to hazard a guess, we're waiting here to complete some kind of entry procedure like we did at K-Corp. Either that or we're waiting for someone, probably the Before team, to get in touch with us. We haven't seen the Before team in quite a while, given the 2 that we know died. Brings us here, surrounded by nothing but endless water. The sinners chatted about inane subjects before complaining about the immense boredom. But deep down, we were all exhausted from the unending onslaught of physically and emotionally draining happenings. Deep down, we all knew these leisurely days would not last. So we each elected to enjoy this brief maritime respite in our own ways. Hello Hazard, welcome to the stream. Yes, it is. It's a pocket dimension from in a door on the back of the bus. Yeah. You must not go past the rope, otherwise bad things happen. But yeah, this is where all their rooms are. Pretty swanky, I'd say. Your door is welcome to the stream.
If thou needest mine assistance. As I have repeatedly made myself clear, I am quite all right.
And thy countenance, returning thy contents within thy stomach to the lake with such vigor, saith otherwise. Except for Yisong, who had a surprisingly low tolerance for seasickness. This voyage was proving to be rather uneventful. Yisong, the day's over. You can go back to your room now.
Oh, shall I finally be freed from this suffering?
Seriously, I told you that you could rest in your room if you wanted. You already had your arc. Our fellows must
also have their share of suffering. I cannot, in good faith, seek comfort only for myself.
You're the one with the biggest share of suffering right now. While I wish that he'd be more reasonable with himself, I could see where he was coming from. I thought better of it than to try to convince him otherwise, and said just help Yisong to his room.
I thank you, Dante. Then, until later.
I waved at him and watched until he stumbled into his room and closed the door behind him. Then I shall seek myself respite as well, Manager Esquire. Yeah, rest well. Don Quixote walked in the same door that Yisong had walked into. I could get a blurry glimpse into her room over the shoulder. I couldn't get a quite good look at it, but it was certainly not the same room Yisong had walked into. I see these doors every day, but I still don't get it. I should probably be used to this by now, but it's still pretty fascinating how the rooms change based on who opened the doors. So nobody can go into each other's room, basically. I guess without permission. I turned, leaving their door shut behind, ready to return to my room. There's a door immediately to the right side of the demarcation of the corridor we're not allowed to cross. Within that door is a space somewhat different from the sinners' rooms. In there was the wooden door to my room and the metal door leading into the mirror dungeons. Oh, you can see Dante's view over here. I didn't realize that Dante was over here. The doors leading to the Luxcavation dungeons and the recently opened door to the Refraction Railway. Also, I still can't believe that shit is canon. I still can't believe it. Don't do doors yet. For no reason in particular. I creak those doors open and take a quick peek inside to see if anything changed. Well, I've never actually managed to catch any changes myself, but who knows? Maybe I'll notice something worth keeping to myself. Which I should probably report to Faust. Huh? Something must have caught wind of my rather mischievous thought. Warning. Warning. An ear-splitting siren blares all the way here from the other end of the bus.
Blimey, what the hell is... Oh boy, this again.
V-M-E. Kill the volume. I spun around to face the other side of the corridor. The sinners, alarmed by the noise, are once again peeking out of their rooms. They were used to this siren by now. But that didn't change the unpleasant fact that their sweet private hours were disturbed. Hello, Clutter. Welcome to the stream.
Well met, Dante. Let us observe this disturbance together.
Okay. Yeah, seriously, even the leveling. Yeah. I accompanied Faust to the helm. She fiddled with a few buttons and shut off the alarm. Incomprehensible, complicated-looking letters began to fill the round screen. Is that a new room?
Even Faust needs a moment to decipher.
Right. Siren always comes without warning. And with it appeared the mirror dungeons, the Luxcavation dungeons, and the Refraction Railways. I don't know if it's relevant, but I didn't see anything that would indicate activity when I checked the railway door earlier.
It is unlikely that anything new would appear from that entrance. I find it difficult to believe that the next line would arrive so soon, when the glow of the door leading to line 2 has yet to go out.
I guess you're right. We're not going to get Refraction Railway for a long time, Dante. Refraction Railway 3, I mean. The first railway really took me by surprise when it appeared. A new door had appeared before us, its edges shimmering with a blue glow. And when we entered it, a mysterious vehicle was just sitting there waiting for us. Its appearance somewhat resembled that of Mephistopheles, but it was also patently clear that I'd never seen anything like it before. An odd feeling.
I see that your first encounter with the train has left a strong impression, Dante. Well, I recall that you had a rather violent reaction when I entered the train to observe its interiors.
Come on, I wasn't the only one that freaked out. Everyone did. What if that thing left the station before the rest of us got on? Was what I wanted to say if Faust hadn't already turned around from the screen, to which her eye had been metaphorically glued to for a while, and walked away. This wasn't it then?
No. This particular volatility is not something we can utilize.
Right. I thought it was an awkward time for a new door to appear. Too soon.
The dungeons and railways appeared at awkward times as well, Dante. I recommend that you refrain from settling into premature conclusion. A new variable may present itself at any moment. Moreover, if this volatility has triggered an alarm in Mephistopheles' engine, then it naturally follows that a new door has appeared in an indeterminate location down the corridor. This may reveal a space from which one could never return. It is best that we keep track of these incidents.
Even Heathcliff won't do anything like that again. Probably.
As per my last advice to you, a premature conclusion is... Regardless, no serious injuries have been detected at this moment. It would be most apt that we enjoy a remaining rest period. Now, if you'll excuse me, rest well, Dante.
With those as her parting words, Faust disappeared into her room in her usual manner. Left alone again on this bus boat. I looked at the numerous letters displayed on the screen. Numbers, unintelligible letters, drawings and symbols depicting something. I had to shake my clock head after staring at that dizzying sight for a while. I wonder if this is how Yi Song felt earlier. I'm starting to feel nauseous. I was barely able to hold back the vertigo from settling in. Time to saunter back to my room. It's turning early tonight. Alright, but now part 2. Walpurgis night. Another day, another prolonged and dreary period of waiting, and some more waiting for something to happen. Of course, our bus boat was still floating on the coastal Great Lake. Voices of discontent among the sinners started small, but they have been growing increasingly incessant as of late.
God, holy crap!
All of a sudden, an ear-splitting siren echoes throughout the cabins. It's that alarm again, warning us of volatility in Mephistopheles. It is much louder, much more painful than the one we've heard before. And this time, it wasn't the only thing that assaulted our senses. Huh? We've never had flashing lights like this before, right?
What is it this time? How did you feed this bloody rickety boss?
Oh! This must be a signal that the long-awaited adventure is finally nigh!
Is this what we've been waiting for this whole time?
No.
Virgilius frowned as though he sensed something was off. He turned to Faust. It's one of those rare occasions when I could sense the slightest hint of confusion from him.
Wee woo. Muffy's blaring and crying. Muffy sick?
What is this, Miss Faust? I wasn't informed about a siren like this before.
First, a correction of falsehoods is in order. Mephistopheles is not bloody rickety, and eating is not a part of its behaviors. It does make infrequent use of the Enkephalon supply gear installed in the engine for fuel, but that is of no negative consequence. Even if it was, whatever issues that may arise can handily be repaired after a proper total disassembly.
That was just a figure of speech! Shh. So what's this now? Sounds like the box is about to explode!
To label Mephistopheles as some bloody rickety butts completely disregards the amount of pain and effort Faust is dedicated to designing and... Heathcliff, if you don't take it back, I don't think she's ever gonna stop.
Huh? Seriously?
Yeah, Heath, take it back. The bus might actually blow up before she explains anything.
Oh. I take back what I said earlier.
I cannot comprehend what you are attempting to take back. Your rather abstract reference to this unknown concept you supposedly mentioned earlier is hardly clarifying. Anyway, allow me to list the specifications of screws used in Mephistopheles' construction that makes this creation so impressive. First...
Fine! I take back what I said about the boss. It's not bloody rickety, and it doesn't eat. I'm sorry, alright?
The cabin briefly echoes with his cries. Then, a brief silence. I think I saw Faust flash the briefest grin of satisfaction. Good.
Is this clown show over? This juvenile, tedious exchange is testing my patience.
Yeah, it's a bit different from the usual alarms. Don't think this one's for a new door. It is quite simple. The night is here.
Oh my god, an acronym I can actually understand.
WDYM. TOISNYC. Talk or I snap your... Walpurgis night is here, it seems.
The night is not here. That is very apparent, at least in this coastal area.
The name does not refer to the time of day in which the sun moves beyond our line of sight.
Then it appears to me that by that designation, you are referring to a certain phenomenon.
You songs seem to be doing a little better now that the waves have died down somewhat.
I am indeed. I am certain that all of you are most familiar with the fact that extracting identities and ego from mirror worlds is one of the many functions of Mephistopheles' engine. But its reach is rather limited. Even as it has expanded over our journey, we've yet to reach mirror worlds that are too far from our own.
That is crazy considering the variety we've seen.
Is this the Golden Bow's doing? I noticed that it was fishing up more and more new things the longer our journey went on. Broadly speaking, yes. You could say that. Dante and our collective experiences gradually expand our range of extractions. Normally, extractions require a certain resource, but there were times when the identity cards appeared out of nowhere. Do you recall them, Dante?
Yeah. Some of them just randomly popped out of the engine.
Wait. Slow down. All this explaining game mechanics via canon is messing with my head. There's an identity card.
Oh, you still don't know? I'm jealous of you, Heathcliff. You have a talent for ignoring anything you don't care about.
Lore explanation for welfare units. Oh, yeah.
You looking to get your head smashed in or what?
Right. Knock it off, you guys. Guide the Bud's giving us the evil eye. They're, the thingies that the Master Manager Bud pulls out of the engine from time to time. Those little rectangular objects with our alternate world. Wait, was it mirror worlds? Anyways, it's those things with depictions of our other selves on them. Yes, the things that look like mahjong tiles. I thought they looked a bit like wafers. I believe their denomination comes from their appearances as cards that contain identities. Thus, it naturally follows that they are named identity cards.
So, we're using those rectangular toys to transform into our alternate selves? I never used them before. And again, only one I ever seem to use is that bloody R-Corp one.
That's because I'm the one using them.
On the device issued to Dante are indentations through which identity cards and ego can be inserted. They are reflected when we participate in a battle.
Do I have a dual disc?
Oh, so that's what they were fidgeting with before every fight.
I could tell from his flabbergasted expression that none of it had ever occurred to Heathcliff. On the other hand, Don Quixote wore a somewhat forlorn expression. What's wrong, Don Quixote? Well, Is this not about time when Ishmael would intrude upon this conversation and denounce Heathcliff with biting words such as, "You still don't know? That's just like you! This emptiness weighs heavily upon mine heart!"
Ooh, you're right. Something was missing from this old convo.
I knew it! She's too busy freaking out about her upcoming arc.
You right tough bastards! Enough. We're not getting the information we need. Miss Faust, please explain the present situation. What are these green lights?
Understood. If we take into account the case of identity cards Dante received without spending any lunacy, we can draw a conclusion that the Mephistopheles extraction has an element of unpredictability tied to its uncertainty.
How's she blathering on about now?
Yet this item is of your design. To say that it has an element of unpredictability would indicate that Correct. And Kefalin fuels the engine, yes. However, extractions and reconstructions utilize chaos. Well, in easier terms, you could say that it uses the concept of possibilities itself as fuel. Our extraction range grows when we are able to clearly observe specific possibilities in the infinitely branching mirror worlds.
That's so cool. So, like, the more they see, like, other people, the more, like the mirror worlds come to them. And that's the canon explanation of why we get identities related to happenings in the story.
During this period, however, the borders between the mirror realities are entirely shattered. Using the present as our anchoring point, it could be said that our current extraction range is approximately 3 years to the past or future. During Walpurgis night, however, that range grows to about 10 years or even more.
Wait. See, now this got me thinking. How long ago was Library of Rowena? If she's saying that. In that case, allow me to say identities are permanent fixtures for time past my graces with!
Theoretically speaking, yes. But each Walpurgis night has its own peculiarities. It will not let us reach into all potential possibilities.
Does that mean we may also be availed our alternate selves as the legendary fixer? The art of magnificence! One and only! Red Mist!
That is extremely unlikely. But I will not completely dismiss the possibility.
I love that she knows about her. Oh my god. I love that she knows about her. Oh man. That is so cool. Hello Federico, welcome to the stream.
The extended range, I suppose, could be defined by worlds affected by entities that were indispensable to the formation of the current state of the world. An example of that would be the Lobotomy Corporation headquarters prior to the White Nights and Dark Days incident. In some ways, your words sometimes find a roundabout way to the truth, Don Quixote.
I don't know who this Red Mist was, nor I knew what White Nights and Dark Days was. I didn't play the previous games. But I could hazard a guess that they both must have been pretty significant, considering that Virgilius' face grew visibly tense as soon as they were mentioned. The sinners were unsettled too. So yeah, Faust absolutely has to do with something about the library or L Corp. She's definitely connected to them in some way. I saw W Corp E Song had a trailer that came out. Hello Zeke, welcome to the stream.
We can conclude that this siren is no cause for any immediate concern, then.
No, it isn't. Consider it a festival that arrives once in a while. For now.
Festival. Festive times. Karen is festive too.
I don't know if I got all that, but this isn't what we've been waiting for, is it?
No, we will continue to wait. The season still has a couple of weeks left.
Tch.
Yeah, they said there was going to be Distortion Detective stuff. I can't wait for the Distortion Detective Rowena mod to be done, because I'm absolutely playing that. The sinners sighed and groaned with disappointment at the newfound anticipation fizzled. Oh, else something did happen, but it wasn't something that would get us moving. I can see what a disappointment this might be to them.
So, how do we stop the green light from flashing?
It will turn itself off when Dante extracts something from the engine. Do not worry.
Right, back to business all. Dante, extract something and turn that bloody alarm off.
WAD. We'll just be running more dungeons through the back door with whatever new thingy they pull anyway.
What a disappointment, I'm guessing. And that's absolutely true, Ryoshu.
Still, this leisureliness is a rare opportunity, isn't it?
Blessed be the patient ones, or so it is said.
Every sinner says their piece before returning to their seats. Some of them walk out of the cabin to gaze at the lake. Something they must be growing a tad tired of doing at this point. Maybe they're just going out for a long sigh. And Alice walked up to me.
Are you not worried, Executive Manager?
Huh?
About what that mad scientist said. For now. There has to be more to that statement. Should I investigate this matter further?
Alice was right. While Faust did tell us to consider this nothing more than a festival that arrives once in a while, she definitely knew more than she was letting on. Yeah, there's gonna be some throwback events or something in the future for sure. But if Faust speaks this thing in her characteristically cryptic manner, it means that she'll never tell us until she wants to. Well, it does bother me a little. But right now we don't have a lot of options. I'll just put a pin in it for now. Aldous nodded affirmatively, bowed, and returned to her seat. Well, let's get extracted, like Faust said. And frickin' 9,000 lunacy later. Ah, jeez. Oh, next Walpurgis will also have story? Oh, that's badass. Alright, so here's something I actually have seen. There's more to, there's new records here that I haven't seen. As soon as Mephistopheles can be upgraded. This is growing. Enter the break rooms or training rooms we backdoor all thanks to his engine. Not only does it power the vehicle. Hello, double entendre, welcome to stream. And into the Faust design, everything special about Mephistopheles come from its engine. And that's what let us extract. It's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Alright. Oh! Oh no, that's the... Okay. Asked for Julius, so I came from the nest to the back streets, but he ignored me. Interesting. Oh, oh wow, some of these were updated. Okay, here we go. K Corp update. I didn't quite understand why they were flying a bunch of drones around the city, filming scenes of death and pain. Looks like there was a reason for all that. I learned some things about K Corp's nest while carrying out their request. I'm not sure it's okay for me to leave a record on them yet. Below are some information that I'm not supposed to write down, but I want to record it anyway. Here goes nothing. Who knows, one day I might even end up forgetting anything. They explained that... oh, cool. It's kind of... These Dante's notes act like a plot summary. And like a really good lore guide. I really like that. Infinitesimally tiny nanobots helping regenerate the body. Apparently they were so small that a collection of them just happened to look like some green fluid. But none of that was true. There weren't anything even remotely close to nanobots. The ampules were just filled with some green fluid. K-Corp's HP bullets, also known as regeneration ampules, aren't like ointments. It, returns the body of the person injected with it to a form they remember as being unhurt. Stefanette, K-Corp's founder, went to the outreaches of the outskirts and brought back this organism they call the tearful thing, from which they extract the fluid. I think that tearful thing was once a human, from what I've seen through resonating with the golden bow, which is crazy. It's kind of mind-blowing that the outskirts is not just like a catch-all term. Like, there's a border to the outskirts, and there's stuff even beyond that. Seemed like their wish was that no one would ever suffer from pain again, and that wish was granted in some form anyway. Theoretically speaking, its tears can literally heal any part of the body as long as its brain is intact. Just like its name, the tearful thing sheds tears when it feels sorrow. By processing or watering it down as tears through the ampules, K-Corp's singularity made. At first, the founder Stefanette drew its tears by sharing sad or emotional stories. When she passed away, those who seized power afterward buried it in a constant stream of violent, shocking imageries to produce its tears more efficiently. That's why the drones were filming people's deaths, so they could force the tearful thing to watch those violent and shocking tragedies. Looks like making it watch the same tragedy over and over isn't as efficient. They have to keep feeding it new, different scenes of violence. That's why they're importing similar footage from other nests. They're planning to use the glass window text similar to the mirror to go to constant supply of footage, but our involvement seems to have thwarted that. Considering the tearful thing is after all an organism, it also seems to be capable of producing offsprings. See, we didn't even see the main one. Alfonso called the one we saw a child entity. I don't know how, but if I were to hazard a guess, I say they're trying to improve production rates by using the tearful thing's children. I'm only a little curious, but I wonder what would happen if a prosthetics user were to be injected with a K-Corp ampule. I imagine they would, as long as they don't see themselves as hurt. I think nothing would happen. We learned everything about their singularity, from its origin to its production methods. But after they put us through the memory wipe procedure, I'm the only one who remembers it. Decided to lay low and pretend that this procedure worked. Even with my limited knowledge of the city, I feel like this information was probably pretty important. I really don't show these notes to sinners anyway, but I'll have to be extra careful about it from now on. Alright, what's new about L-Corp? Looks like they left behind some of the ego equipment the Lobotomy Corp branches once used to manage their abnormalities. I think there's some conditions and risks to using this ego equipment like weapons or armor. Makes sense that they're extracted from the abnormalities that Lobotomy Corp used to manage. They also seem to affect their users' mood or speech patterns. Considering that they're made from abnormalities, they might pose a problem during future visits to Lobotomy Corp branches. T-Corp, that's going to be the chapter after this one. The chapter after Ishmael's. It's Heathcliff's chapter. Located in District 20's nest. Specialized using temporal technology. I've only experienced T-Corp through resonating with the golden bow. I've never actually been to T-Corp nest before. I wonder how that's going to be like, looking at nothing but sepia tone the entire time. So I'm not sure how true to life that experience was. They seem to value technology and inventions. The whole nest is literally monochromatic. I think having any color is a privilege permitted only to those with power. Black fumes constantly spewing out of numerous buildings have darkened its skies. Here we go, U-Corp. Located in District 21 nest. They use a singularity called resonance tuning fork. Can meld together two items of entirely different nature into one, as they've always been a part of each other. Somehow the power of the resonance tuning fork melded guns and monstrous crabs called trash crabs together. They could use those melded firearms as they were naturally born with them. So it's basically the freaking fusion thing from Tears of the Kingdom. U-Corp is scattered across the Great Lake with much of its major institutions located on its surface. So yeah, Union Corp. Which means that we're in dire need of a ship if we want to go anywhere in U-Corp. So we got Mephistopheles modified into a ship, using the resonance tuning for it. Seems to me that it overlaps the subregion called the Outskirts. Oh, interesting. So yeah, the lake, part of the lake is in the outskirts. That's right. It's like halfway. More fixers. I don't think anything here is new. Oh, yes, that's right. There's new stuff here. I knew it. The associations aren't the only kind of organizations a fixer might work for. Some of them also work for offices. They all seem to specialize in different things, just like the fixers themselves. Association seems to refer to the large organization that manages fixers. Each association seems to have a specified field it specializes in, to account for how free and open a fixer's line of work can usually be. There's a pretty wide variety. I've seen a few associations through the identities of sitters in their mirror worlds. One major difference from freelance fixers is that they can't choose the jobs they want to take. Dev Yacht Association? Seems specialized in delivery and transportation. Wow, I don't remember this one at all. This is a brand new one. City is full of dangers around every corner, so it's extremely difficult to deliver important items or information to the intended recipients on time without losing it. Yi Song told me that.
While the city may appear minuscule in the bird's eye view that the map avails one, an approach that contemplates its surface area and not what a single surface of it shows, a world vastly different. The city is tight with brimming buildings in both heaven and earth. Their labyrinthine construction and singularities paint a picture hidden in a forest screen. I wasn't sure what he was talking about, so I just nodded along.
Dieshi Association seems specialized in collection and research of knowledge. They're the priestly organization. They say association members use equipment that draws physical strength from knowledge. Harder to obtain and more precious the knowledge is, the greater the strength it grants to users. Looks like they lose the knowledge once they draw strength from it, however. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's really cool. Oh my god. Dang, what an idea. Can they regain lost knowledge, or is it lost forever? I imagine they can just read it again. That would be kind of really cool, actually. Yep, yeah, that's Roja's strongest ID. That's the one I always have Roja on, yeah. So, theoretically, could you use this to, like, forget about, like, your favorite story and, like, read it over and over again as if it was new? I think that would be pretty cool. Looks like they got fixers who fight with their fists and fixers who fight with their keys? 7. Collecting intelligence. Intelligence knowledge. I thought they'd be pretty similar to the Dieshi Association. Once one of their identities explained the difference. While 7 associations specializes in whatever means to collect intelligence they have contracted to find. Dieshi Association specializes in making the found knowledge their own and by analyzing and deconstructing them. Still, I bet they have a lot of overlap given their similar specializations.
Workshops. Wow, a lot got updated. Specialize in building and modifying gears used by the fixers. Technically, they go under the same umbrella as offices. Unlike the fixers' offices with various specializations, though, people refer to these specifically as workshops. Primarily, they craft and sell weapons, armor, and other tools. The fixers use. Sometimes they're contracted to build custom gear as well. At least that's the impression I got. Considering that they're also run by fixers, workshops don't shy away from taking contracts involving combat if they have to. Like the Roast Banner workshop did, for example. Oh, the memory wipe. Here we go. Technology used to wipe specific memories. I recall that we took turns entering some room. Procedure ended when the sinners walked out with all their relevant memories wiped. Odd. I remember everything K-Corp wanted me to forget. But that room, I can't remember a thing about the memory wipe procedure itself. Interesting. This leaves me with so many questions. Why didn't the procedure work on me? If it didn't work, why can't I remember anything about the memory wipe procedure itself? That's pretty interesting. Alright, here we go. More about the outskirts. Looking at the map, there's a zone outside the general area where the nests are. That zone's called the outskirts. There are monsters in the outskirts. Ishmael and Aldis called them monsters and not abnormalities. Considering that they've encountered abnormalities before, I'm gonna guess that there are monstrous things out there that aren't abnormalities. Well, it's not like we'll ever have to visit the outskirts. I doubt even Lobotomy Corp would ever branch outside the city. Ha ha ha! You'd think that! You'd think that! But that's not true. Oh my god. I wonder if that's where the endgame is gonna be. The original Lobotomy Corp lab. And you know what's near there? Where the library is right now. Oh wow. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that's where endgame is, because I'm betting like at the halfway point of the story we're probably gonna visit where the L Corp building used to be. But the endgame is probably gonna be the OG L Corp lab. Like way back in the day. Back before it was even L Corp. I just remember that Ishmael said the Great Lake overlaps with the outskirts. A massive lake at the south end of the city. Some call it the sea or the ocean. Okay, so it is the ocean. Why do they call it a lake? Jeez. The Great Lake isn't just one big pool of water. It's divided by straight lines into several small sections, all of which have unique colors. I've only seen a little bit of it, but it reminds me of patchwork fabric. According to Ishmael, looks like the Great Lake's chock full of treacherous natural disasters and monsters. Even if she's right, then it might be too early for us to go to the Great Lake. It's not like we've got much say in the matter. Limbus Company ordered to go there, so we gotta. I guess that decision's what got us into this mess. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Monsters. Oh, here we go. I thought all monsters were either abnormalities or distortions. But it seems like the opposite is true. All abnormalities are monsters, but not all monsters are abnormalities, I think. They say the trash crabs are a prime example of monsters that aren't abnormalities. Though they're not so prevalent, I think they're sometimes mentioned in creepy tales or legend of the city. Apparently the outskirts and the Great Lake are both brimming with monsters. Still, this means that there are monsters within and without the city. I'm not sure I'll categorize them yet. Alright! I've only heard it mentioned in passing. Don't suppose they were talking about just any old library. Fixers from Molar Boatworks mentioned it. Said they went in there, something awful happened, and they returned from a book?
know enough about the city to connect the dots and make any meaningful guesses from them. Let's write down what I heard and put a pin in it for now. Ooh. Walpurgis night. Seems to be a special period when we can extract identities and ego that we normally can't. The timelines and the worlds we can access are expanded during this period. It's not like we'll be extracting random identities and ego from all over the place. Faust explained that whoever we end up extracting this period will be relevant to all of us. Relevant to Limbus Company's current state in some way. Huh. I really want to know the connection between Limbus Company and the library and L Corp. Is the purple tear, like, I wonder, like, the purple tear's gotta be involved with this somehow. Walpurgis night seems to arrive once in a while. As usual, Faust doesn't tell me everything, but at least I could tell the next Walpurgis night will be different from this one. Yeah, more stuff. Wait, what's here that we didn't go through? Oh my god! That's what we missed. Ooh, doors, can you post that in the Discord? I'd love to see that. Luxcavation. Oh, here's the canonical explanation to all our shit. Oh, it was removed when they added key to realization. I see. One of the dungeon types we can enter via the back door. Oh my god, hello Axlord! I see your comments all the time! You put like times or something in the video. Welcome to the stream! Alright. Once we enter, there is training ticket Luxcavation dungeons to the left and threat Luxcavation to the right. Looks like we can gather resources during the sinners by battling abnormalities or enemies we faced in the past. Hello, Main Strange. We're almost done. After I finish reading these, we're gonna do the look at the Walpurgis night other cutscenes. You have to spend Enkephalin to enter these, since they also require Mephistopheles' engine to operate. There are dungeons we can access via the back door. The corridor that leads to mirror dungeons made of cold, heavy metal. It inspires a different kind of anxiety from usual wooden doors and corridors. At first, there was just a single door leading to a mirror dungeon while the others were shut. The second door opened at some point, though, so now we've got two. Considering that Faust lets us know when the doors would open, I'm guessing that there are specific conditions for them to open. Maybe they follow a certain schedule. Whenever I enter a mirror dungeon, I emerge to a place resembling Misty Cosmos. I can choose which sinners to bring with me into each of the mirror dungeons. According to Faust, Mephistopheles' engine actively stabilizes the mirror dungeons we're allowed to enter via the back door. The ultimate purpose seems to be improve mine and the sinner's capabilities. Faust recommended that we make frequent visits to the mirror dungeons of the back door at least once a week, even if it meant spending Enkephalin used for the engine. Refraction Railway Line 1. Though it's closed now, we've been to the station before. The whole place had a bluish tint to it. We encountered and bought some familiar faces, but many of the abnormalities in there were entities we hadn't encountered in the Lobotomy Corp branches so far. I recall that we've interacted with some of these abnormalities before in the mirror dungeons. I think main traders, I'll do that the next time we have a break. I'm sorry, yeah, we're not gonna do that today, but next time we have a break, I will take a look at that. After this, we're gonna look at the IDs. We're gonna look at the Walpurgis IDs.
Faust says their interaction with them in the mirror dungeon were through some kinds of spaces. Their mental spaces and worlds, that is. Does the railway happen to stop by one of these worlds? Then maybe it's not a simulation? I don't know. This place has a greenish tint, unlike line 1 with its blue. I bet the next one will be a different color. So on and so forth. Again, we fought some more abnormalities we only had glimpses of before. Everyone cheered when they saw line 2 had way fewer stations than line 1 did. Until Yusong noticed some kind of symbols on the wall and theorized they were supposed to run this line multiple times. A new station was added with each new cycle, though we still had to go through the earlier stations first. Around the time we were on our 4th cycle, Heathcliff began loudly complaining that he was tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Blimey, we just keep fighting these bloody same guys over and over. We're trying to get a low turn count.
Some sinners seemed to grow increasingly restless as well. The crisis was averted thanks to Yisong, who said the sign seemed to say the 5th cycle was the last one they had to complete. Once we wrapped up our 5th cycle, we were able to find a large hoard of various resources from Lost and Found. From what I can tell, each line is going to have different routes and conditions to completing them. A place, refraction railways in general, a place we can access using the back doors. Gregor tells me it looks a lot like the city subway stations. It looks pretty dilapidated, as though it's been here for a long time. There's what appears to be a subway train on the rails. Subway train kind of resembles our Mephistopheles, except it looks like it's been left to rot for a long time. Subway train didn't budge with just one sinner inside it. When the other sinners joined, however, the door closed all on its own and began taking us somewhere. The sinners told me that it took us to the next stop. What I can tell from my experience here so far is that each station led to a different environment. Some of which were places we've been to in the past. The door closes behind us. Once we get off the subway train onto a new station, then an abnormality or some enemies attack us with no rhyme or reason, leading us to immediate combat. Once the fight's over, the subway train door opens again. Once we're all aboard to the next stop, rinse and repeat till we reach the terminus. Faust told me that they appear to be like simulations, or a series of locations generated in order to improve our capabilities, akin to the functions of mirror dungeons and excavation dungeons from the back door. That makes sense. I can't believe it's canon that they fought the freaking Cromer multiple times. Oh my god. That makes sense. We encountered enemies like Cromer in there, but all they did was fight us. Maybe they're also just simulations after all. I would hope so. Not sure if it's putting us through a very realistic simulation, or if it's actually taking us to where the abnormalities reside. I still don't know enough about this place to say for sure. Once we made it to the end of the subway route, we were allowed to return to the bus via one of the stations. One of the sinners was furious, complaining that sent us a wild goose chase for absolutely nothing. Until I saw Faust popping over in the lost and found box, picking up a whole hoard of resources. Here we go, last one, back door. A door on the back end of Mephistopheles. Past it is a corridor full of doors connecting to each sinner's private lodgings or break rooms. The sinners tell me that each room has unique looks and different interior designs. Faust explained that they may be reflections of each sinner's personal psyche or memories. There are more people on this bus than the number of doors we actually use. But the ones we do use can lead to different spaces depending on who opens them first. Two sinners could enter the same door, only end up in different rooms, for example. The doors are labeled with names denoting whose rooms they lead to. There are also doors that just lead to the other side of the walls they're on. I wonder what Dante's room looks like. The door to my room opens to a corridor leading to the mirror dungeons and the excavation dungeons.
I can see the corridor past the black door extends beyond the area we use. But somebody put a sign there warning us not to trespass. We almost had a huge accident when Heathcliff tried to go past the threshold in spite of the warnings. Something tells me that there are dangerous things or territories in deeper parts of the corridor. Heathcliff's panicked face is still fresh in my memory, and Faust's uncharacteristic urgency too. Ryoshi called this endless space the corridor. I can tell that she's not talking about just any corridor. Well, what else could she possibly be talking about? Alright, that's the last of the notes. Now it's just the two new identities. World of the former library guests. Oh wow.
The air smells as pleasant as always tonight. It's musty and hazy. Now that's the back streets I know and love.
The child pulled his mask down and breathed in a lungful of air. The stench of slightly rotten trash, the exhaust fume smell of an unknown origin. The back streets reeked with a smell not unlike burning incense, of stubborn industrial dust. The child seems to love it though. It was not so long ago when all this child ever knew was the highbrow, lavish aroma of his affluent home. Maybe that's why he enjoyed the smell that most denizens in the city would gag at. He said it reminds him of the common people. Oh, Ryoshi's here too. I could see her. And so is Marceau. They're the three here. I wonder if we're ever gonna get the other two.
Why, D, why?
I cannot agree with that statement, but I understand your sentiment behind it.
The child was flanked by two other children. One wore a mask and hid her face under the hood of her parka. The other wore a mask that covered his entire face. They've been roaming and causing trouble in the back streets together for the last few years.
Sure. Well, we don't have to agree on everything, right? As long as we can agree on one thing. That we all love ripping people to pieces. Watch your words. Fixers aren't allowed to kill for no reason. Don't want anyone listening and snitching on us to the rep.
There are nothing but rats in our 500-meter radius. No one is here to listen. And if anyone does listen, we'll tear them apart as well.
Right? Why should we gag ourselves? It's gotta be so frustrating living like that. Also, Ryoshu, didn't you have a lot of fun yesterday? And thanks to you, we ended up killing way more people than intended.
Thanks for that, Main Strange.
Yes, which led to unscheduled muscle pain and lack of payment for our extra kills. It was inefficient.
It was a rare opportunity. It's hard to come by material consistent enough to be in the same exhibition. I'll consider this incident sorry. Was that even an apology?
Child shrugged and let go of the discussion. There was no point in dragging it on. It wasn't going to change anything anyway. Besides, he also had fun yesterday. He certainly wasn't the one to talk.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I think I enjoy getting a paid consistent rate for killing people. Who would have thunk that people like us, people from a killer syndicate, would be working for an office, business cards and all? SOR, picking up the backstreets dogs like us. Now that's one strange office rep.
This is our niche. There are as many offices as there are syndicates. It is a reasonable choice for a businessman to prioritize a small niche in an oversaturated market.
But I have a feeling this office won't last long. We can tear people up into pretty little straps and hang them up all day. But it's not like we're leaving our business cards behind. There's no way to get the office's name out there.
Yay. This canvas is not nearly good enough for real, proper art.
This office isn't going to get any new clientele beyond fledgling syndicates or other poor people who want to hire us for petty scare jobs.
Will you propose an alternative then?
Why would I?
Todd looked at the other innocently and cocked his head. It was as though he didn't understand where the question was coming from.
Well, are we ever going to build a real resume to rise through the fixer ranks? Or are we going to suck up to the rep to get him to recognize us? No, we're just doing some temp work. When there's nothing more to get us out of this office, we'll leave and saunter back to the back streets.
That is also a reasonable suggestion.
The child shrugs affirmatively. So did the bionic weapon on his shoulder.
That weapon. It's from the Union Co. workshop, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's cheap and decently handy. How's that? Couldn't have gotten this without a stable income.
That workshop is filled with amateurs. They pick up their meat from random piles of corpses to make their weapons. There's no refinement to them, only a facade of it.
Well, that's why they're cheap, and that's why I like them. Though using these really drains my energy. I'm hungry all the time.
That is an insignificant problem. Simply take more work, increase your earnings, and consume more calories.
Agreed. Let's tear it up some more.
The three children giggled as though a funny thought had crossed their minds. They were confident, on top of the world. Nothing could possibly stand in their way, or so they thought at least.
Incoming contract. It's from the representative.
Oh, new work.
Precisely. It appears our next job is at some library.
Nice. Let's hurry there.
The children leisurely strolled through the back streets. Oh my god. Where will these children go? Well, there's no way to know for now. Hello, Gal. Welcome to the stream. Oh boy. And last thing we do before we end for today. Coco, what are you doing? It's interesting that this is separate. Oh yeah, she has a different job there. From the other one. I don't know, Gal. I'm thinking of checking it out. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I'm thinking of checking that game out. Kind of on the fence, though. Here we go. Faust story. I said yes. Oh, I thought it was a cancel. God damn it. Okay. Oh my god, this music is so fucking nostalgic.
Initiating voice log. This is Control Team Captain Agent Faust. Logging in today's work records. My current location is the Lobotomy Corporation headquarters, Upper Layer Control Team Department.
It's interesting because I also had Forsaken Murder in Control Department.
It has been 9 days since the manager's first day at work. 3 days have passed since the information team department opened. The clerks are almost all here. It is quite busy. This voice log will resume when management work begins, pausing the recording. Resuming voice log. I am currently headed to educate our new hires.
Did they remix the Lobotomy Corp theme?
Also, the manager has requested that I be assigned to manage a new abnormality we received yesterday. It appears that the personnel newly deployed to the control team has expired. It seems that we've hired a new employee. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Jacob. What is it? You're hesitating outside the containment unit.
Team Captain Faust. It's my first assignment, and I'm a bit scared.
There's no cause for concern, Jacob. The abnormality assigned to you is likely to be the safest abnormality here.
But its name here, look, it's really intimidating. One sin and hundreds of good deeds. Team Captain, what happens if I get unlucky and the thing decides to commit that one sin against me? I still haven't.
Relax. That is not how this abnormality behaves. Why don't you read its information? Peruse the abnormality details and conduct insight or attachment works, and nothing will happen.
Really?
Faust does not lie.
Okay. Thank you, Team Captain.
We are running somewhat behind schedule. Jacob is one of the newest hires assigned to the control team. It appears he was unnecessarily intimidated by a brief description of the abnormality. I suppose this is a part of the team captain's job. I am certain that the manager will be understanding. Then, I will continue this recording once they arrive at the containment unit. Testing. Resuming voice log. My arrival was delayed beyond my initial predictions. I had a run-in with Miss Malkuth, and had the pleasure of exchanging a few words with her.
Malkuth!
She inquired about the work we had planned for the day, so I made an impromptu report. While it was unexpected that she wanted to know the expected completion time down to the seconds, I believe that records were helpful in giving her a satisfactory answer. She is a Sephra after all. She is responsible for an entire department. Her demands are not entirely unreasonable. Moving on, is the containment unit of T-01-54, also known as the Forsaken Murderer. According to the prior records, as long as the work results are good, there shouldn't be any difficulties with managing this abnormality. Work records showed that the employee previously assigned to this abnormality conducted repression works, which resulted in the overproduction of NE bugs. The abnormality's head transformed into something akin to a metallic substance, which he used to crush the employee to death. Not many would understand the process by which a person's head transformed from flesh to metal, but that ineffably is simply the nature of abnormalities. This record at least informed me that avoiding repression work on this abnormality would be preferable. Even if something were to happen, I have an ego suit resistant against red damage, so I foresee little trouble ahead. I will continue this documentation once the work is complete. This is Faust. The work was successful. The abnormality was observed muttering something to itself. It shuddered with anxiety and refused to look away from the floor. A proper communication was deemed difficult. It looked rather emaciated, so I attempted to perform an instinct work by providing it food items that humans find useful. The results are encouraging. I'll record the instinct work is effective for this abnormality. But I have not observed any signs of his head turning into metal, nor am I any closer to learning the mechanics behind the phenomenon. Considering this ego weapon was extracted from the abnormality in question, it seems evident that the abnormality's characteristics are at least partially carried over to the shape and particularities of the ego weapon. Ah, the siren. Warning. Ordeal of Green Dawn alert. Suppression personnel from all departments must immediately assemble at the bottom right elevator of the upper layer. I guess that's where they're closest to. The manager's orders have arrived via the devices. It is time for the ordeals already, then.
Green ordeal, Green Dawn is no big deal.
Each employee is equipped with a device that displays orders from the manager in text form. The devices must be checked often as the orders are rather frequent.
Yep, they totally knew that the orders are we bundled the nuggets in the elevator.
I must go assist them in suppressing this ordeal. I'm not particularly concerned. Maybe this ordeal will be suppressed before Faust even gets there. The manager does not yet know, but the ordeal of Green Dawn is quite insignificant compared to what is to come.
See, how does she know this? I love that we get like more Lobotomy Corp lore from this, but how does she know that?
No, I must hold my tongue, lest I risk confusing any other individual who will be listening to this recording.
See, she knows. She knows that the days are repeating, I think.
Faust is determined to struggle to survive the remaining 41 days of work. And I will leave it at that. Well then, Faust ending the voice log.
Well, that was really cool. That was a lovely nostalgia trip about Lobotomy Corporation. Ah, man. Okay, you guys. That'll be it for today. I wanted to do a shorter stream today because I'm feeling sleepy and I need to catch up on my sleep. So I'm not tired for the next streams. Next one will be on Sunday. We will have more trails. And then on Tuesday, we will start Chaos Child. So, until then, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.